Yeah, the air raid sirens have just started again.
The United States military began major combat operations in Iran.
On Saturday, February 28th, 2026, the world woke up to the unthinkable. The Middle East has officially exploded, and the drums of World War III are beating louder than ever before. Welcome back to the Brink Report, your top source for breaking geopolitical events. Today, we are covering the most terrifying escalation of our lifetimes as we break down Operation Epic Fury. The massive and devastating joint military assault launched by the United States and Israel directly into the beating heart of Iran. If you thought global tensions were at a boiling point before today, you need to strap in and brace yourselves because the powder keg has just been ignited and there is absolutely no turning back from the abyss we are staring into right now. What has happened so far is nothing short of staggering. A display of military might that the world has not witnessed in decades. In a highly coordinated, multi-wave daylight offensive, United States and Israeli forces unleashed an absolute barrage of airstrikes and naval bombardments. The Israelis are calling their side of the offensive Operation Roaring Lion, while the Pentagon has officially dubbed this unprecedented campaign Operation Epic Fury. This was not a surgical limited strike. This was a massive, decapitating blow aimed squarely at Iran's most critical military installations, missile production facilities, and deeply buried nuclear infrastructure. We are talking about direct, devastating hits on major cities including Tehran, Isfahan, Qom, Karaj, and Kermanshah. The sheer scale of American and Israeli firepower being utilized is completely mind-boggling. Let us talk about the specific targets because the coalition did not hold back. Multiple bunker-busting munitions rained down on the government district in Tehran. 7 missiles reportedly struck the immediate vicinity of the offices of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, as well as the presidential palace of Masoud Pezeshkian and the headquarters of the National Security Council. The headquarters of the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps was also heavily bombarded. Reports are currently stating that Khamenei was rushed to a secure, undisclosed underground bunker just moments before the first bombs impacted. But the message from Washington and Jerusalem is crystal clear: the leadership of Iran is no longer safe. The entire country of Iran has been plunged into a near total internet and communications blackout, leaving millions in the dark as the explosions continue to rock the capital. The military assets deployed for Operation Epic Fury showcase the absolute pinnacle of American naval and aviation supremacy. For weeks, the United States had been quietly massing a historic armada in the region. The supercarrier USS Gerald R. Ford, the largest and most lethal warship ever constructed, alongside the USS Abraham Lincoln, have been launching relentless waves of stealth fighters and Super Hornets. These carrier strike groups, accompanied by over 10,000 American troops and a screen of guided missile destroyers, are turning the skies over the Middle East into a highway of destruction. Bombers launching from the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar and other undisclosed locations across the Persian Gulf are systematically dismantling Iranian radar arrays and surface-to-air missile batteries, clearing the path for follow-up strikes. In the midst of this overwhelming show of force, United States President Donald Trump released a chilling, historic 8-minute address from Mar-a-Lago, fundamentally altering the global geopolitical landscape. Wearing a white USA baseball cap and a Navy suit, the president formally confirmed the start of major combat operations. His rhetoric was absolute and uncompromising. He declared that the objective was not just to destroy Iran's missile and military capabilities or to prevent them from obtaining a nuclear weapon, but to actively facilitate the toppling of the regime itself. He delivered a terrifying ultimatum to the Revolutionary Guard, telling them to lay down their weapons and accept complete immunity or face certain inescapable death.
Just imagine how emboldened this regime would be if they ever had and actually were armed with nuclear weapons as a means to deliver their message.
But perhaps the most dramatic moment was his direct plea to the Iranian citizens. He urged them to stay sheltered as bombs dropped everywhere, but declared that the hour of their freedom was at hand, actively calling on the populace to rise up and take over their government once the American bombers had finished their runs. But Iran is absolutely not going down quietly, and their retaliation is already well underway. The response has been ferocious, immediate, and terrifyingly widespread. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps immediately launched what they are calling a crushing first wave of ballistic missiles and suicide drones, completely overwhelming the skies across the region. They are not just targeting Israel, yet where millions of civilians have been sent rushing to underground bomb shelters as air raid sirens blare continuously. The skies over Jerusalem and Tel Aviv are currently lit up with the fiery trails of the Iron Dome and David's Sling air defense systems, desperately working overtime to intercept incoming Iranian projectiles. The Israeli military has declared a nationwide state of emergency, closing all schools, workplaces, and public spaces as the barrage continues. Even more alarmingly, Iran has dramatically expanded the scope of the war by actively striking United States military installations and allied nations across the entire Persian Gulf. The conflict has officially spilled over the borders. We are seeing confirmed reports of interceptions and massive explosions at the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, the very same base launching American jets. Missiles have targeted the United States Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters in Manama, Bahrain. Air defense batteries have been working frantically in the United Arab Emirates, where at least one civilian has already been confirmed dead from falling missile debris after an interception over Abu Dhabi. In Iraq, strikes have hit the headquarters of Iranian-backed militias south of Baghdad, and explosions have rocked areas near the U.S. consulate in Erbil and across Kuwait. The entire region is burning. The diplomatic and civilian fallout is catastrophic. Every single nation in the immediate vicinity has slammed their airspace completely shut. Iran, Israel, Iraq, the United Arab Emirates, and Jordan have completely grounded all civilian flights. Major airlines like Air India have suspended all routes to the Middle East, and passengers at Dubai International Airport are stranded as flights are indefinitely delayed or canceled. The United States State Department has issued emergency shelter-in-place orders for American citizens across multiple embassies, including those in Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Jordan, and the UAE. Saudi Arabia has quickly released a statement strongly condemning the Iranian aggression against its Gulf neighbors, signaling a massive geopolitical rift that could drag even more nations into this rapidly expanding war. So what is about to happen now? The ball is entirely in the air. And the next 24 to 48 hours will dictate the future of the globe for generations to come. Defense officials in the Pentagon and in Tel Aviv are bracing for a massive secondary and potentially even more devastating wave of Iranian ballistic missiles tonight. This upcoming barrage could test the absolute breaking point of the Patriot missile batteries and the Iron Dome. Furthermore, Iran possesses a massive, deeply entrenched network of proxy militias across the Middle East. Analysts are warning that Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and various armed groups in Syria and Iraq are likely preparing to open up entirely new fronts in this war. The Houthis have already announced they are resuming full-scale attacks on international shipping in the Red Sea corridor. Meanwhile, Operation Epic Fury is explicitly designed as a multi-day, sustained military campaign. The strikes we have seen today are merely the opening salvos. Expect relentless, around-the-clock bombing runs by United States and Israeli stealth bombers, specifically targeting Iran's subterranean nuclear enrichment sites and attempting to completely annihilate their naval fleet operating in the Strait of Hormuz. We are standing on the very edge of the abyss, and a miscalculation by any side could trigger a global, unconventional war. The stakes have never been higher, and the world is holding its collective breath. Make sure you are subscribed to the Brink Report and have all your notifications turned on, because our team will be tracking every single missile launch, every fighter jet sortie, and every breaking development as this historic and terrifying war unfolds in real time. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and keep your eyes on the skies.